So, young men these days are depressed, they're anxious, but something else is worse. The one problem that I've also seen with young men who are trying to fix their lives is the moment they go onto YouTube or Google and they start searching for ways to become better, what you would often run into is five habits of millionaires, five habits that made me a millionaire, eight habits of billionaires. But when you try to adopt those habits, guess what happens? You'll be confused, lost, and maybe potentially even lose direction and give up on the entire self-improvement space. So this is the harsh truth about self-improvement is that most of the content creators, right, they are just gathering information. Most of them have never lived those experiences. Or they might live through it, see the benefit of it, and share with you. But the honest truth is that they themselves, right? The problem is they don't really do these things on a day-to-day basis. Right? They never would take the time to study people who are really, really, really successful. They take up ideas and patch them together to give you what is called feel good content. So in this video, I hope you get just the two things you need to actually self-improve yourself. Well, you get the point. So let's start by this. How many people do you admire in your life? Let's pick up one or two that you strongly admire. Now ask yourself, of all of these eight habits, like more like what meditation, working out, these how many of them do these guys do? There's a high chance maybe they do three of them, four of them. Some even do none. If you go back and look at some philosophers, some deep philosophers, some of them had drinking problems. They had weed problems, right? So it's not like it's a one size fits all because the real problem is the real path towards self improvement is two things. One, having a direction, a goal, or a vision. That is a place you're moving towards. Two, you are solving for your own problems as you go through that journey. Beyond those two things, there is nothing extra to self improvement. Absolutely nothing extra. But they don't tell you this because your mind likes to complicate things. I tell you something. If you see a content creator who makes things look complex, go and check what he has to sell to you. But somebody who wants to actually empower you will make every single thing simple. So one, have a direction. So let's look at something maybe a YouTube title now, right? So when you set a goal, maybe earn $10,000 per month. That is the goal, the direction. As you're working, you discover that in the mornings you have good energy, and all of a sudden you feel a sudden crash in your energy. You look around. What's causing the crash? Oh, maybe okay, it could be the breakfast you ate. So what now happens? What is in the breakfast? There's a high chance most breakfast have high carbs, high sugar, things that cause energy crash. So there's a high chance it's there if you're going through that problem. You look and say, okay, I think that's the real problem. So guess what? You would adjust and say, I will skip breakfast. Right? Now you've gotten into fasting and you're seeing the benefits of fasting, the mental clarity fasting brings to you. Let me see. Then always, yeah, now you keep working hard. You have adjusted. You have solved the problem of having low energy when it's time to work. You have solved that problem. Maybe another problem comes up. Let me see. You probably have like what communication problems, right? So you look for a way to improve that by doing what? Maybe you have a problem with clear thinking, and you've heard about Jordan Peterson talking about how thinking clearly is possible if you write more, because you can slow down your thought and analyze them as you put them on paper. So guess what? You adopt journaling, you adopt writing, whether it's content or not. So the whole point is you have a direction you're heading towards and you're solving problems. But the other the for the other people, which is what people are doing in the past is you're solving problems that you may never face in this life. That is the actual truth. And to some extent, it is just you distracting yourself. What that means is if you don't need that habit, even for myself, something because I would say now this is where we even get into some vulnerable deep shit, even with ADHD. So if you look at the symptoms of ADHD, right? I kind of like have almost everything there. So not clinically diagnosed, but personally diagnosed. So throughout the years, guess what? I was always on high sugar, high sugar, high sugar, and it made sense why I was almost like a retard in my younger days. But that aside, at the same time, ADHD has kind of like helped me to sort of not have porn addiction, right? Because I discovered that if it's not in my front, it's not to be difficult for me to even remember it. This is why people will have vision boards. So now, people need to be reminded about their goals as often as possible. So what I do is, I have like a lot of sticky notes. So I stick my notes right in my monitor, so I can't avoid not seeing it. Literally, like if I put my sticky notes there, there are days where the fan has blown my sticky notes away, and I completely forget about the tasks I have to get done. That's how that's how crazy it is. So in my case now, it has it benefited me. It makes me focus on what things that I truly enjoy. But in the process, for things that I don't enjoy, this is where self-improvement now kicks in. So now there's some tasks I have to do, but I do not enjoy. So what's going to happen is I might involve what is called habit stacking. So back in the days, it was very difficult for me to get myself to create content. But now look at it. Look at how easy it has become because I have stacked that habit with other habits. So what that means is before when I'm done making my content, then I go and drink my coffee. Right? It's like a reward system for my brain. See how this thing plays hand in hand? What that means is I'm solving my problems as I am having my goal because that's the that thing about life, right? Your goal is to cause you to stretch. In that process, you become better at certain things, and people will do what people recognize those things. But if they don't know the goal that led to it, or if they don't know the problem you try to solve, guess what? They will assume that that particular habit you have is everything they need. That's why I tell people that if you can afford it and you feel like you have somebody who has solved the problem you're trying to solve, feel free to pay them for it. Pay them for their processes, for their systems, right? Stop jumping on these YouTubers who just want your attention, which is even a big problem, right? So when these guys who have not really done stuff with their life, who have not really improved their lives, are out there thinking they can give advice to other people on how they can improve their life. But guess what? Again, distraction. These guys, they optimize for the algorithm, and this is why you should be very careful about most of these popular content creators who just move for your attention. They basically offer little value. They might take up ideas from like a few people, right, and give them to you. They've never even lived these ideas before, right? So for me having ADHD, one other habit that helped me was meditation. And people talk about meditation like is this holy grail of stuff. There are some people who have tried meditation and they were worse off. Now, I'll not necessarily say backfire. They were kind of like worse off in terms of mental health and all. So that's what I basically get guys to do. But if you really, really look it right, that is the crux of self-improvement. Do not let anybody lie to you. So what that means is that if you really have a goal, you're working towards that goal, you are solving your problems, there's no reason for you to be bothered about if you have the right habits or not. Even when I teach about, even when we teach lifestyle design, I tell people, what is the life you're trying to live? Now ask yourself, what habits do you need now? So my name is Tonore. I create content to help young men become way better versions of themselves. Using what? Using videos, using interesting ideas, using videos that are supposed to be hidden behind a paywall is what I bring out here for you to understand. My name is Tonore. If you like videos like this, I want you to share with somebody who you know will find it helpful. That habit of sharing such a video will make sure that I hit the right audience and I can help more men all over the world. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. I shared the video.